Hi there. Welcome to this week's Tuesday tip. I'm Carol Doherty. I'm a career coach for women in STEM, helping women in STEM go from merely surviving to thriving in their careers. So today, let's talk about how to take control of your career. Now, you might say, well, what does it matter? Interestingly, I was reading an article in Harvard Business Review the end of last week where they were exploring five career advice myths or five career advice pieces. And the one they found most beneficial to employees and actually employers are um, is the one about taking control of your career. In what this study they did found was that when you take control of your career, that means you have a self-directed mindset. They found that the people who did this had the highest both subjective and objective scores of any of the different myths. And what I mean by that is people who were self directed, willing to take charge of their career and get themselves where they want to go, scored higher on job satisfaction, salaries, position, promotions, morale, and engagement. It sounds like a great deal, doesn't it? And I think a lot of that is because when you take charge of your career, you're setting your pace, you're driving it, you're doing what you want to do, and you're driving it. So you're really in charge. And so that gives you a lot of ownership and it gives you a lot of that pride of ownership. So today I want to talk about how you take control. It's great to say, "Oh, yeah, just go do it." Well, if you don't have that self-directed mindset, naturally, and a lot of people don't, it can be hard to get there. So first and foremost, the best thing you can do is get clear on what you want from your career. And you can might be saying, "Carol, I know what I want, but let's get down to the nuts and bolts of it. What do you want from your role?" And I'm not saying you need to figure out where you want to be when you retire. That might be 20, 30 years from now, whatever, or longer. You might not know that. What do you want from the role, your next role, the role you're in or your next role? What are you looking for? What do you love doing? What are you excited about? Let's do that. Focus on being clear on that. Then, what kind of responsibilities do you want? I have talked to a lot of people who don't want to be managers. Okay, that's fine. But you need to be clear about that because all too often organizations will promote people who are really successful technically. And then next thing you know, you're a people manager and you don't want to be, or you're being pushed to take a promotion into a management role, and that's not what you want. You need to say that. You need to know, do you want to ever be in a position where you make decisions? I kind of wanted to get into supervision and management because I wanted more of a say in what I was doing in helping set the direction and the goals and be part of that. It wasn't so much managing other people, it was more about I wanted to help set direction and set guidance and have more voice in what was going on and how we did our work. That's why I wanted to get into management, but I had to understand that, and I had to know, okay, along with that goes means I'm dealing with people. Where do you wanna work? You know, since the pandemic started, there's been so much change in where and how we work. Are you somebody who loves working from home and you only want to work from home? Or maybe you like a hybrid, or maybe you're one of those folks that wants to be on site, or your ideal role requires you to be on site. There are a lot of jobs in STEM where you have to be in a lab, you have to be in a factory, you have to be present in the workplace to do your job. So understand that. And location could be where in the world, where in the country do you want to work? And I'm in Phoenix right now. I've worked in Chicago. I've worked in Virginia. I've worked in Nevada. So I've kind of covered the country coast to coast, north and south, east and west. And where do you want to be? Where do you want to live? What do you want to do? That can drive a lot of your career. I know I don't ever want to live up in the north again. I am done with winter. I'm over it. So when I was looking to move, we were looking for a place that's warm and dry. I can't do humidity for health reasons and bad asthma. So cold and humid don't work for me. So we're in the desert Southwest again, which works perfectly. So where do you want to work? What kind of hours are you willing to put in? I've talked to a lot of women lately who, you know what, 40, maybe 45 hours a week. Beyond that, nope, done. I have little kids. I am not interested. That's fine. I did that. I moved into a role at one point where my predecessor worked probably 60 hours a week. I don't know why he was working that long. I've never been able to figure it out. But I wasn't coming in and working all day Saturday and then part of Sunday. Nope, not happening. I wasn't going to come in at 6 a.m. and leave at 6 p.m. That wasn't going to work for me. I had young kids. I wasn't going to do it. And my boss and I had a conversation and I told him, here's when I'll work. I'll be in by 7:30 and I'll probably be here till about 5. But I have to go get my kids from daycare. And they close at 6 and they charge me outrageous if I'm late. So I will be out. And I told him I'm not working weekends because my kids have activities. So I would work a couple of hours one Sunday a month doing the monthly report. That's it. And I tended not to answer emails and or do anything else. I went in, I did the report, and I emailed it to my boss, and then I logged off because I didn't want to get into a conversation because he was working. So what are you willing to do? Understand that because it has an impact on what roles you may end up taking. Understand what the culture of the company you work in. What do you want? Some people thrive on startups and that whole energy around getting going and that excitement where everybody's pitching in and doing things. Other people like being in a big corporate role where there's all the processes and procedures and you know what you need to do and there's the boundaries and there's all the rules and regulations and you know exactly how you do what you do. You know how it fits in. Great. What's that culture look like? Do you want to be in a company that already has a lot of women in leadership and in other roles? Or are you okay with being one where they're just kind of getting started on this whole inclusive diversity type thing? What works for you? Are they open? Are they relaxed? Are they more formal? What are you looking for? The answers doesn't my answer is different than yours, and that's okay. It's about you taking charge of your career. What is it you're looking for? What is it you want? So you've got to figure that out. And then the last thing that I always advise my one-on-one coaching clients to do is get clear on what is a hard no for you. And it's really interesting what that can be. That's those things that, yep, nope, if that's part of it, I'm out. And it might be you don't want to ever be in supervision. One of my jobs, they wanted me to become a third shift production supervisor. And I said, no. I had a new baby, an infant. I was not interested in working third shift, nor was I interested in being in shop supervision, production supervision in that location. I knew what that was like, and nope, hard no for me. I did go into supervision later. I had some wage employees working for me, but it was a different setting, a different situation. For me, that was a hard no. What is it for you? Some people, one of my clients, she wasn't going to work more than 40 hours a week unless she absolutely, short term, crunch time, maybe 40 hours, no more than 45. Another one is saying she doesn't want to be in the Pacific Northwest anymore. And she's in construction and she knows what part of construction she wants to be in. What is it you're looking for? What's a hard no? It really shapes a lot of things for you. Another client, a hard no was really was location. She wanted to be in a specific place or be able to work fully remotely so that she could live where she wanted to live. She had family requirements that made her want to be in a specific place. If she couldn't live and work there, hard no. Doesn't matter. What is it for you? So when I say get clear, I mean get really clear. There's a lot of things. Oh, and back on culture. What is the culture of the company and what are your boundaries? How are you going to be treated? This is something you need to be clear on. I've worked in places where women were dismissed, treated poorly, and just totally disrespected. So what are you going to do? Where is your line on this? Make sure you're clear on that so that as you're growing your career and you're moving to whatever that next step is, you understand where your lines are and you're not going to put up with it. Culture of the company can have a lot to do with that. So pay attention to that. Then once you have figured all of this out, take a lot of time up front getting clear on what you want to do. Then create a plan to close any gaps that you have for the ideal role you want, all that sort of stuff, as well as how do you leverage your superpowers? You have skills, you have great things that you do, and you've done amazing things. So how do you leverage those? How do you show you have transferable skills if you're going to take a slight shift in what you're doing? How do you showcase that? Come up with a plan for showcasing your strengths, your superpowers, and closing any gaps that you have to get you where you want to be. And then start sharing it. Nobody can help you if they don't know what you want. And the interesting thing is, and this is the key to taking charge, is you've got to be willing to talk about it. And so many people don't like talking about it. They don't want to. It's uncomfortable. It feels weird. It feels different. You know what? That's okay. You can talk about what you want without bragging, without being rude, without pushing anybody else down. It's okay to say what you want. Why not? If you won't talk about it, nobody can help you. When I sat back and waited for my boss to help me, even when I said, hey, I want to look at other jobs. Oh, wait, no, I need you here now. Me waiting on him, it was never going to happen. I would have had a chance to move when he retired. And he wasn't that much older than I was, maybe 15 years older than I was. There was no way I was willing to wait for him. Why should I have had to? I ended up moving. I started talking more about what I wanted. And you know what? Then people started putting opportunities in front of me. They started figuring out how to help me get there. People can't help you if they don't know what you want. So start talking about it. I'll be talking more about advocating for yourself, both in your career and talking about those boundaries in tomorrow's Midweek Madness Break, Career Growth Conversations with Women in STEM. It's at noon Central. You can go out to www.midweekmadnessbreak.live to register. You need to get registered to get the details, and you can join me. If you can't make noon at Central, sign up. You'll get the replays. You can also check out what I've got going on my YouTube channel. I have some other videos around this out on YouTube, caroldoherty.tube, and see what's going on. If you're interested in learning more about working with a career coach, you can DM me on Instagram or reach out to me through my website, caroldoherty.com. Hope this has been a helpful Tuesday tip on why and how you should take charge of your career. See ya on Instagram, Carol S. Doherty, or at caroldoherty.tube. Have a great day.